Join me as I dive deep into the hidden effects of chronic inflammation on our health and see if I can uncover the signs that might be silently affecting me. Chronic inflammation is one of the most underappreciated yet pervasive health threats of our time. It's a subtle, insidious force that can be quietly wreaking havoc on our bodies, often without us even realizing it. And yet, despite its immense impact, chronic inflammation remains woefully misunderstood, even by many in the medical community. So today I want to shed some much-needed light on this critical issue and explore the often overlooked signs that might indicate you're suffering from chronic inflammation. You might be surprised to learn that chronic inflammation is linked to a staggering array of health problems, from arthritis and diabetes to cardiovascular disease, even Alzheimer's and certain types of cancer. The symptoms can be incredibly diverse, ranging from joint pain and fatigue to digestive issues and skin problems. In fact, if you're experiencing persistent bloating, or your skin is constantly breaking out, or you're just feeling perpetually exhausted, chronic inflammation might be the culprit. And the scariest part? Many people are walking around with chronic inflammation without even realizing it, simply because the symptoms can be so subtle or seemingly unrelated. Chronic inflammation can manifest in countless ways, and it's estimated that nearly 60% of Americans are dealing with some level of inflammation right now. That's a staggering statistic, especially when you consider that many of these cases could be mitigated or even prevented altogether. The problem is, we're often not listening to our bodies, not paying attention to the warning signs that something is amiss. So, let's take a closer look at some of the most common symptoms of chronic inflammation and see if we might be able to identify some patterns or clues that can help us take control of our health. Take, for example, the connection between chronic inflammation and our diets. What we eat has an enormous impact on our bodies, and a diet rich in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats can be a major contributor to inflammation. Or consider the role of stress, which, let's face it, is a near constant presence in our lives. Chronic stress can trigger inflammation, and if we're not taking steps to manage our stress levels, we might be unwittingly fueling the fire. And then, of course, there are environmental toxins, from pollution to pesticide residues, which can also drive inflammation. So, what's driving this epidemic of chronic inflammation? For one, our modern lifestyles are a major culprit. We're often sedentary, we're eating poorly, and we're not getting enough sleep. We're also exposed to an enormous array of environmental toxins, from pollution to pesticides, which can wreak havoc on our bodies. And then, of course, there are the hidden influences like stress and anxiety, which can have a profound impact on our physiology. The good news is that, by recognizing these factors, we can start to make changes that can help mitigate chronic inflammation. One of the most powerful tools in our anti-inflammation arsenal is, quite simply, nutrition. By focusing on whole, plant-based foods, we can start to reduce inflammation and promote healing. And it's not just about what we're eating, it's also about what we're avoiding. Cutting out processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats can be a game changer. Another critical component is stress management. Whether it's meditation, yoga, or simply taking a few deep breaths, finding ways to calm the storm can have a profound impact on our health. And then, of course, there's the role of exercise, which can be a powerful anti-inflammatory in its own right. As we've seen today, chronic inflammation is a complex, multifaceted issue that requires a comprehensive approach. It's not just about taking a pill or making one simple change, it's about fundamentally rethinking the way we live our lives. By recognizing the signs of chronic inflammation and taking proactive steps to address them, we can start to take back control of our health. And that's what it's all about, taking small, incremental steps towards a healthier, happier you. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you experienced any signs of chronic inflammation, and what steps have you taken to address them? Be sure to check out another video I've got on inflammation and health, where we dive even deeper into the connection between gut health and chronic inflammation.